We are playing NGS. Hey everyone, this is Monarchy, and I have seen the headline. I have seen Karopi's 2 new videos of Burnout, and I think the new one he cooked or something like that. But regardless, so far NGS, what they have been doing so far, it's pretty much a shithole. Yes, I do agree on certain things what Karopi has said. But even though that he explains certain outcomes and explains certain things that are wrong, not everything that he put it out there, there are certain things that he put key points. Which I'm not gonna deny it, because yes, like I've been saying, the exploration, it needs updated. Other features, like he said, purple triggers and yellow triggers, and you kind of get the gist from original tower, etc., as well as cocoons. He forgot to mention it, or he has mentioned it before. There is many things that they could do to improve this game fantastically, but so we have to get to a reality check that they may not ever going to change or improve certain things. Let's be real and frank here. Yeah, we could have hopes and dreams, but those hopes and dreams of having those things, it's pretty much, a far reach of reality. It's pretty much a dream, an unrealistic thing that can or can happen. But we, the consumers, are mostly at fault for letting them go from that point. Why? Have explained many times, maybe we have to slow down the player shop. ACSG. These scratch tickets. Yes, it's nice and all, but in all fairness, it's not even nice at all. If you look at other gacha games, right? If you want to go to that far or that extent, or if you play those type of things, or if you moved on, AC and SG should have been in the same category, not separating. So there's a division at play between free to play and, if you want to spend money. It should be both at one type of scratch ticket. So you could have SG and SG in the same category of tickets, like this, or this one, or this one, and that one. Regardless if it's some type of the event, okay? The collab. It should be SG and SG. I mean AC, excuse me. But they didn't do that because somewhat people are saying, we are saying they cannot do that. Fortunately, they can do that. If you go look at certain phone games, okay, apps. If you've seen Seven Deadly Sin app in mobile, and suddenly Seven Deadly Sins made collabs and certain events from their own company. They made it to the point that you could play it for free. They made it for you could whale both of them at the same time without dividing the two hosts or the two consumers. That's where Sega did wrong. And they're just using this as a cash grab or milking the cow. They're not improving why we have different blocks of scratch tickets. Like I said before many times, the player market should be free in the get-go. Salon should be free in the get-go. Why we have different stops, that it's ruining the gameplay. You know, let's go back and let me digress a little. Borderlands. Yeah, you pay pay and get the game on a disc or in digital, but Borderlands, what they did right is that it's a shooter looter. Let's put that out there. Borderlands, what they did excellently is that they have many weapons, many gear, and you have a goal to reach or create your own build. Sega, on the other hand, there is no goal. There is no reward that will benefit you. There is no builds that you could make or, follow. Oh, this build is right for me, or to make a certain character what I want to do. This is just plain out. You make a character and you increase your equipment level, but other than increasing the equipment level, you're stuck in a certain style. Which case, yes, let me take it back a little bit. We have different classes.
Thanks for stopping by.
That's for sure. We have different classes, so yes, we have different styles and different type of weapons. And we have what's it called? Mars as well. But is it actually a style? No. It's actually just a gameplay setup of how you could veil yourself. So putting covers that is like, ooh, this is what they want me to do. They're putting blindfolds to you for not seeing the reality or the real picture.
Come by anytime, okay?
So why I say that? Let's go back to the world map. In the world map of, let's say, Borderlands, again, I'm going to bring that up. Borderlands, you have a type, a goal, or a build that you want to create. Let's say Cryo, for an example. It's ice build. So to make an ice build, you have to fight a certain boss or a certain enemy that you could find around the map. But depending on what area and location, which they have different, like he said, end game type of thing, but it's not necessary to push your character forward or improve your forward, because level now, it doesn't even matter. It's now so-called battle power. But getting to a certain battle power, air quotes, you need to, like certain players say, best in slot. Best in slot does not exist. You're pretty much going for whale um, play to win whale style. So you have to invest and put money forward. But you could also do it for free as well. Just that it's going to take you longer to reach to that point. But going to Thorn and Liberty, they reduce your I won't say process to increase your level. So they slow you down, but you have to put in the work to deck out your equipment. But to deck out your equipment, you need rarity value, which we don't have rarity value. Yes, we have this new shit that we have. Legendary and up to 11 or 13 stars, but it doesn't mean anything. This is legendary, but it doesn't mean shit. This 12 star does not mean shit as well. So rarity has no value whatsoever in this game. But in Borderlands, rarity, it has value, but at the same time, you could use your old equipment. So if you have a good roll or luck of what type of perks or abilities on a certain object armor, let's say for an example, why you're gonna trash a level 1 armor than something that's a little bit better, that's like, let's say, epic or legendary, that doesn't have the same value as the level 1 armor. I'd rather keep the level 1 armor and improve almost everything else for I could have a better cryo build. But in this case, you cannot do that here. You're just filling up your potency, flow potency, and that is it. Or if the now EX augment is at play, so depending on, so-called style, you want to benefit your weaknesses or improve your strengths. Button smashing. If you know button smashing, you're going to improve your gameplay of button smashing. If you are mid-maxer, you're going to improve your play on mid-maxing. Getting to the easy route. The things about certain content creators and the community in NGS, they are narrow. I don't want to say narrow-minded, but they are focused in one certain thing. So they are following that one certain thing and that trend of, like I said it long ago, the rabbit and the hare. If you're playing like a hare and knocking out content as fast as possible, of course, you're going to run out everything else to do and you're going to slowly burn out. You're just going to wait for a certain content or a certain event to pop up, and then you're going to back out a little bit or back up completely, play something else, which is fine. But at the same time, if you're dedicated to a certain game that you're going to play a longer period of time for years or whatever, or just stick in one thing, you need a certain goal and process and certain difficulty to get to point A to point B, and maybe lead alliance or a guild for that same goal and process. But we don't have that. Sega reduced the difficulty level for hardcore gamers and casual gamers. So they made it like holding your freaking hand and babying you every step of the time. So every new content that comes in or a new boss, they put it the hard difficulty mode and they change it or nerfed it. And then once we get like a certain story mode or a certain event that's the same boss, they reduce the difficulty level. So in that point of thought and process, they should have put the easy shit first, then increase the difficulty level. They don't do that. They did in reverse. So everybody's like, what the F is this? So how can we improve or process that type of thing when they keep knocking us down? So there's no point on increasing our builds or, armor, weapons, because it's not necessary. It's already easy enough. So what you need to do, what I do is just use my old shit, and I'm having a little bit fun of the challenge. Because yeah, I'm gonna be dying a little bit, but now it's more of a skill factor of not dying and putting more damage into or staying longer in the fight. As other players just button smash, they're gonna die sooner or later. I just hope they could support me where I could stay long in the game, so I could start doing my work, even though my punches are weaker, because I'm a support character. I'm not there for DPS. I'm not there to heal you. I'm a support, depending what type of support that I'm playing. I'm an agile support. If I'm using rod or something, or that type of category of healing, then I would be supporting as a healer. But I'm supporting DPS of being a support role, of doing as much as possible to stay in the boss's face so they could just knock out heavy hitting. So pretty much I'm 1,000 cuts, slashing, dashing, of minimum as possible, and slowly reduce the HP and armor of the boss till DPS comes in and they're full heal and knock them out. That's my role. That's my job. So I expect everyone to play their certain roles, what style they trying to play. But like I said, this game is freaking easy. A baby could do it, or little child as 7 or 8 could get to our point and probably understand what kind of role they want to play in an MMO, what they feel comfortable with. But these, grown adults doesn't want to participate because we are consumers. We're not allies of the people that does the game, so the company. We should support us as gamers. Because we are the consumers, we have more power than they realize. Think about that. Why you think the economy, how it is now, it went to shit? Because people in power wants to overthrow people and show them they don't have the power. But now, different countries that's getting tariffs are saying, you know what? I don't want tariffs, so I'm gonna fight, even though things turns into shit. You have to keep on fighting the good fight. If you just give up and bend down and let someone peg you, you're just gonna getting the short end of the shaft. So you're gonna go by their rules and by their law. So if you don't want that, it's the same mindset in the gaming mindset industry that you have to put the good fight. You have to push. and be aggressive about it, not sugarcoat shit. Because that's what, companies want. Oh, you know what? No, no, no. This is a bad behavior, or that type of mindset. No, if they want to fight the bad behavior, or the mischievous bullshit, the TOS, I can fight that. I could go to that borderline gray area. They can't do shit to me. So as you guys as well. You guys can play the good fight and do what they do. I'm just encouraging anybody that wants to put that good fight or don't want to fight, but at least put your own part of how to change the company's mindsets, their assets, and you know, you put the money into the game if you're the one that's putting money. So stop putting money and make sure all the consumers, so you guys as gamers, should stop putting money into the game and start putting reviews and the headlines, start telling them and forcing them into what they should not be focusing, what they should be focusing. Because like that, we're going to have our own war between companies and us as gamers. Because there's already, a conflict between Sega, Xbox, Steam, etc., etc., because of certain things that has been going on. So Sega, they are on their high horse. NGS is not their baby. Sonic is their baby. So if you think of it, they're just milking you here so they could focus on other content or other IPs and not focusing on here. They're just putting, a display, a show, a big case show, to entertain you. But they're gonna keep on putting you in this joyride that giving your high hopes on this may happen, this may not. So they're pretty much holding you into a submission that this could happen, this could not happen. So they're taking you a ride along till they don't need you anymore and they're going to focus on something else. So you have to flip the role that we have to have control, not them. That's all I'm saying. Shop all these as you could see tickets of Salon and all this bullshit that doesn't need in a free game concept, but they're putting barriers for, you know what, if you want it faster you have to pay for it. Why not just stop paying and see what they're gonna do? I'd suggest everyone in the community do that. But I have said it for many years already. Once this game started, I already saw what they were going to do. And from this day on, the consumers, us gamers, not paying attention of the warning signs or the red flags. There are some starting to, see the light. There are certain players that are gonna like, you know what, I'm gonna dip before things go to shit in a shithole. Why there are certain content creators are leaving? Why certain players are leaving? Because they had enough. They don't want to be mixed up in this big white or lie, I should say. Any further, Only what they're doing is like, you guys should. They even put it in the in the chat, in any content creators chat or any video. They've been supporting, but not supporting the game of telling the truth. But people don't want to hear it, and they want to stay in this, daydream, or this, fantasy land that isn't real. If we want to keep this fantasy land, we have to put our foot down and be aggressive and tell the company what they should do and what they should not do. Because we hold the power. They don't. Because who is giving them paychecks? We do. Because we're putting money into the game so they could get money for themselves and put it in their pockets. Or invest into the game to make it better. But a lot of gaming companies are not completing the games, and they do the cheap route and cheap way to, you know, bring consumers in and grab hold to you, and for you could stay hook, line, and sinker into their, fantasy world of, things could get better. Technically, it's not getting better because it's like PlayStation, for an example. PlayStation made PlayStation 4 and then PlayStation 5. Is 4 and 5 any difference? No. It's just features. It's like Apple. Apple, they're not making a new generation of a phone that's like a wow factor when Steve Jobs was alive. Now, when he's gone, it's just updates of phone, adding different features here and there, but it's not a generation leap forward of a new um, new tech. It's not. All these new Apple phones, it's not a new tech. It's from the previous model, they just upgraded it. So if we stop supporting upgrades and supporting new tech and improvement, then those uh, companies, they have to like, oh shit, we need to improve our shit. So the next PlayStation 6 is gonna be just a new feature. It's not a new generation step up moving forward the, electronics or gaming industry wise. No, what Xbox is doing is improving gaming industry, of spreading third party out, of going to PC and expanding. So it doesn't matter what platform that you're playing, you'll be able to play same games in whatever platform you feel comfortable with. Say Sony, excuse me, PlayStation is focusing for exclusive. So exclusive is going to give you limited range on what you can and cannot do. And their progress is going to be shrinking down as Xbox and Steam is expanding for different people that has different, consoles or platforms. So who's going to be investing and getting more money in the process in the long run? Steam and Microsoft. Nintendo and PlayStation won't. At this point, yeah, exclusives gonna save them to a certain extent. But when is gonna be that extension gonna disappear? When those companies, those software companies, they're like, oh, they're making more money. We need a little bit more money. So I think we should get to this other side. So Sega in this case, they are exclusive of certain points and they're not changing certain ways. if they don't change a certain ways, what's gonna happen? It's gonna die out. And another game that's similar to NGS is gonna uprise because they learned from the past or what other MMOs are doing, why they keep on falling. So there's gonna be like Destiny. Destiny was a great achievement, and then what's it called? This game that doesn't it died out. Um, Anthem. What happened to Anthem? Anthem didn't want to change their way, but also they cheat the certain consumers. What happened? Sony pulled out their plug and they couldn't sell. So they apologized and things like that, blah 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 blah. And they either they fix their, the game and do an overhaul or whatnot, whatever happened there. It just stayed stuck. We never heard Anthem ever again. So it died out. So it was supposed to be Destiny Killer, but they didn't improve, they didn't expand or change certain algorithm or mechanics. So that's going to be the same process that's going to happen to NGS, or worse, if they don't change. So we as not companies, consumers have to change their mindset before it is too late. If we don't fight now, something's gonna happen. Either if we fight or not, there's a certain event that we cannot change. It's destined to happen. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail because not our actions, it's gonna be their action because the game failed. So people that having this facade or saying, but I'm hoping that this game could change. I could see the process that's being made. Yeah, I can see it too, but I could also see the reality that if we don't change as a group, then the company will take over and they won't change anything. They're just going to hear your complaints here and there. They're like, okay, we're going to give you this false hope.
I have no idea.
So, at the end of the day, it's us to blame more than the company. But, again, if you want to put it in the good fight, start doing it. Because I've been extending my hand every now and then, try to reach out to people, but people don't want to listen. So I'm not gonna be the people that a salesman at your door, or like you want to hear the word of God, or you want a nice vacuum cleaner or things like that. I'm not gonna be knocking at your door or saying shit. If you want to change or make a change, you have to be willing to do it and put yourself out there. Because there's already, someone already putting their hand, reaching out. But if you're not taking the hand, or if you just pull and think that they're going to do it for you, things are not going to end well. And things are going to be the same way. And there won't be any change. Think about that. So, I said what I need to say. I could add more, but, my brain died not too long ago. Because I think I said almost the same thing over and over. But, oh well. Hopefully, this video helps you out. If not, I tried. Because I am you know, aggressive. But, my aggressive is, it is what it is. I can't change that. But I'm honest about certain things. I'm being truthful or putting facts. But, it is what it is. It's whatever. If you like what you see, you like what I do, please like, subscribe, share the video. And let's see what it comes from here. But, like I said, I do think Kuropi hit the nail in the head on certain things. But, like, that wishful thinking of hope. When that wishful ending of hope going to end? When are you gonna act upon on the action and see how we could change the game? Because wishful thinking is not gonna change anything. It's just, oh, I'm wishing that I have $1 million. That $1 million never gonna come to me. I have to put the work in order to get $1 million. That's easy enough and said and done. So, again, like, subscribe, comment down below, share the video, and see you guys next time. Peace.